Hello and welcome to the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. This is the special Election Watch series where we bring you all the news, the views and the interviews from the disability community.
H4P Organization, the authentic voice of ability for persons with disability, brings you the Helping Hand Election Watch series, discussing the concerns from the disability community.
The political parties should be concerned and support the training of this tactile ballot because they are the ones we are going to vote for.
I've got to a place, steps up. How can you carry somebody 5 steps up to go and vote and then you carry him or her down?
So we look at how the voting papers are inclusive. We look at how the voting centers are inclusive.
The political parties will realize that persons with disability are the largest minority.
Election is in the air. We must vote based on policies, and our elected officials must know what actually we at the grassroots are going through, especially in the disability community. It is a special Election Watch series.
The Helping Hand Election Watch series with the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of the Helping Hand TV show. This is the special Election Watch series, and I have my very, very good friend, Mr. Philip Tete, who is the H4P Organization, here with me. Thanks to Limited Company Limited and Fast Chapel for being my proud sponsors. And special thanks to you for tuning in to this special edition of the Helping Hand TV show. It's a special edition of the Election Watch series. It's a Helping Hand TV show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, you are with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability, and today I want to introduce you to someone with so much ability. Some people call her the greatest friend, others call her the sweet companion, and others still call her the faithful worker. She is dependable, reliable and adorable, and she's committed to lending you a helping hand anytime, anywhere. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome DV Cleaners.
DV Cleaners Alata Samana Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Aloe Vera Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Body Lotions, DV Cleaners Hair Shampoos, DV Cleaners Hair Conditioners, DV Cleaners Liquid Detergents, DV Cleaners Hand Wash, DV Cleaners Floor Cleaners, DV Cleaners Toilet Cleaners, DV Cleaners Cake Soaps, and now introducing DV Cleaners Hand Sanitizers. For bulk purchase, call us on +233 278 308 246 or +233 244 467 326. DV Cleaners, one of the top most made in Ghana products. DV Cleaners, proudly Ghanaian.
And so remember that anytime you purchase any of the DV Cleaners range of products, you are lending a helping hand to a person with disability, and you are supporting H4P Organization's special advocacy for persons with disability. DV Cleaners,
Nature's finest touch. Is the Helping Hand Election Watch series with the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Yeah, welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show. It's the Election Watch series. This is H4P special initiative at campaigning for peace for 2024 elections, before the elections, during the elections, and after the elections. And the PR of the H4P organization, Mr. Philip Tete, is here with me doing justice to what is important for the H4P organization. Philip, thank you once again for making time to be with me.
Thank you very much, Bishop, for having me.
Let me start off by asking you, you are the disability advocates. You are a strong voice for the disability community. Tell me, why is it important for political parties to include disability issues in their policy framework?
Thank you very much, Bishop, again for having me on your show, and thank you so much for the great work you are doing. I mean, it's mind-blowing, and if somebody is doing well, you have to appreciate the person's good work. So again, we say thank you and kudos to the good work you have been doing towards the disability community in Ghana and even beyond. Bishop, we know, or I believe if you've been watching the Helping Hand television show, it's been mentioned severally that the strength of every nation is in how well they take care of their vulnerables. Now, if you want to be a leader over a nation and you don't have plans for the vulnerable, then we have to question the quality of your leadership. So we think that it is crucial. If you're going to have next set of leaders over Ghana for the next 4 years, it is necessary for them to have plans for the vulnerable. And we are talking specifically for the disability community.
Thank you so much, Philip. I want to take this opportunity to commend the H4P organization for going out of their way to contact the political parties, especially the two main political parties in Ghana, so that they give them a platform for them to share their plans with the disability community, so that we can know exactly what they have for us in the disability community. And so for today's Election Watch series, I'll be talking to representatives from the two main political parties. First of all, I'll talk to Dr. Joshua Makubu. He's a former regional minister for Oti region and the national campaign coordinator for persons with disability for NPP 2024 elections. And then I would also talk to Mr. Frederick Asso. He is the national coordinator for NDC Disability Desk. Let's start off with Mr. Joshua Makubu. The Helping Hand team visited the offices of the National Campaign Coordinator for NPP elections for persons with disability 2024. I asked him what really the Disability Secretariat of the NPP is all about. Let's take a listen.
If you look at the motto of the NPP, development in freedom, when we say freedom, it's a fundamental human right for all manner of persons, whether you are a person with disability or not, whether economically you are empowered or not. It doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter your tribe. So long as you are within the confines of Ghana and you are ready to develop within the confines of Ghana, there should be that freedom of space for you. So persons with disabilities have been recognized as an integral part of the Ghanaian society. But then, from the beginning, it was like persons with disability always shy away from political activities. But I think that as time goes on, and then more of us got the education, we started participating in political activities from the grassroots level, the numbers started increasing. And NPP, as it has always been a very inclusive party, started identifying and recognizing our participation in political activities. That's why I got to a point, they decided that whatever amount you were being charged to contest election in NPP, if you were with a person with disability, you were given a rebate of about 50%. So that culminated to getting more people becoming active. A lot of them became police station executives, some of them constituency executives, others regional executives. For instance, I was a regional assistant secretary when we were with Volta region. I became a regional secretary when, Oti region was created, before I was appointed a regional minister. So the party sat down and then deliberated on it and felt that no, persons with disability need to be given a recognition that will help them also champion the cause of other persons with disability. The first point of contact. So we believe that no, we don't just need a desk, but we need a secretariat, just like the national secretariat, the women's wing secretariat, the youth wing secretariat, so that we can be empowered with other people. We had a consultative meeting, and then it's okay. It is not just by me. Let's create a secretariat and put people here to work at all times. It has been there and we have always been referred to, but this office has been created and then the space is occupied for about a year now. Yes. But the wing has existed, 2020, we were there, we played our role, 2016. So it has always been there, has been recognized by the party, but it has been formalized as a secretariat for about a year now.
Is the Helping Hand Election War series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Okay, so Philip, H4P has contributed significantly to the disability community all this while. And I want to find out from you, when it comes to the political parties who are contesting for the elections this year, especially the two main political parties, what are the expectations from H4P towards these political parties?
Yeah, first of all, I'm so excited. I'm so excited hearing what I'm hearing today, seeing what I'm seeing today. The fact that a day like today has come when we began this project on the Election Watch series, it was a struggle contacting political parties to even get to hear what they have in mind for the disability community. And here we are now. They have set up a desk. It is early days yet, but we are excited as an organization that a step has been taken. Now, what we are expecting from the political parties, first of all, we say thank you to them for hearing us, and we are grateful for the step they have taken.
I need to say this, that the onus doesn't only lie on the two main political parties. Every other political party that will contest for our votes, you should have something, you should have a policy for the disability community, and that would serve you well, because the disability community is the largest minority grouping in Ghana. I went ahead to ask Dr. Joshua Makubu, in his opinion, how Ghana is doing so far with respect to disability issues.
We can say some level of successes have been chalked. Let us be very, especially being guided by Asante Hini's presentation, the Ghana Bar Association, where he said we should. He referred us to Kofi Kinate's on Obi Nyawaye. The disability issues in Ghana some years back is not the same as it is today. There was no way somewhere around maybe 1992, 96, the year 2000, you even have anything called a disability manifesto. But here we are, we have a disability manifesto. And especially, I'm not sounding political, when it comes to regulation and policy, the current president, it was during his tenure as what, the Minister for what they call it, Justice and the Attorney General. That is where we promulgated the Disability Act 715 of 2006. That brought this idea of setting aside a portion of the Disassembly's Common Fund to see to persons with disability. There was provision in the Act for persons with disability to have free access to education at all levels. There was a moratorium to make sure that all public spaces were made accessible to persons with disability. Job placement was also discussed. Political participation was also discussed. Unfortunately, the airlines have not yet been promulgated when the NPP left power in 2008. And since then, nothing had been done about the airline, therefore making the act very ineffective. By the time the NPP came back to power in 2016, we had an engagement with my own sister, the then Minister for Gender, Utiko Jaba. She was interested in getting the airline, but we at the disability movement said no. Ghana has signed on to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability. There have been some gaps identified between our act and that of the UN Convention. So we want to make sure that our act is reviewed to come into tandem with that of the UN district. Then a technical committee was formed. The pace of work had been progressively slow, but as I speak to you, I think the final draft bill has been made. We are still talking with the relevant stakeholders to see if it can be laid in Parliament as they come back for their last session of the year, so that they can become an act. So I think some progress has been made.
Is the Helping Hand Election War series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Well, that is very interesting. I went ahead to ask Dr. Joshua Makubu what, in his opinion, are the pressing needs for persons with disability in Ghana.
The pressing needs of persons with disabilities in this country is what the Vice President has said. One, get them the right form of education. At the tertiary level, persons with disabilities should not pay school fees. their accommodation should be free, if possible. You should even be given some level of stipend by accepting to be in school. I've been telling people that when I was doing my M4, one day I had to throw my stew away at the Ponglo Junction because I went for the stew from home around Lashipi. And when I was coming, it rained, so I didn't get the car early. So I got to Ponglo, crossed to the other side. There was no taxi operating. There was no way. The polythene bag that the saucepan was getting torn. I cannot use my clutches and still manage it to this. So I just have to. If I was getting scared too because it was dark. You know, the Ponglo said when the sports stadium was not there, the street lights were not there. So I just had to live with the MCO. That was a huge cost to me. So I think one, the Vice President has spoken about education. The other one is about jobs. If we can have quotas in all public sector institutions, at least for the start, they should be able to take care of persons with disabilities. Like that when you are in a university or training college, you are in your final year, they should place you directly without national service. As the Vice President has said, national service should become optional. If you finish school and you have a job opportunity, why should it be mandatory that you do national service before you accept that job opportunity? So I think with a job placement quota, it should help persons with disability to migrate directly from the university to this. Then that's those who are in the, but those who are also available and they want to acquire some skills. And then when they are given that level of empowerment, the Ghana Enterprise Agency has done very well these few years, and I pray they continue in that direction, where persons with disability can just take your Ghana card, walk into an institution and get the facility to set yourself up. You see, people always talk about this Assembly Common Fund. I think it has been overhyped. It has been overhyped. Sometimes I have worked as a regional minister, so when the releases are made, I know a 1 quarter release that will come and not even exactly within a quarter. You can use it to set up even a single person in a business. So they go there and then they are giving some 2,000 cedis, some 3,000 cedis, and then some they just buy the fridge for you. Where are you going to get money to get the meter fixed to start the pure water business that you want to do? In what structure are you even going to sit and do that? All these things have not become. So when they are giving some training, and then some are also doing some soft skills training, like how to write business proposals and others, and the person comes out with a business. Or we can even outsource that to the Business Advisory Center, the BACs, write business proposals for persons with disability. So anybody who wants to go into maybe groundnut selling gets to the district office and there's a proposal on that. The person picks it, presents to the appropriate quarters, and the person is set up. This is what we need. Getting the right form of education and getting the jobs to do. It's only when you are able to feed yourself and feed others, then the Ghanaian society does not have the eyes to see your disability again. Apart from that, any other thing that you do, you see how handicapped you are.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
So, Philip, we've been talking to Dr. Joshua Makubu, the National Campaign Coordinator for Persons with Disability for NPP 2024 elections. So far, what are your impressions?
Bishop, we say thank you to the political parties for coming up with this initiative and for at least thinking about something towards the disability community. The issue of the free tertiary education, policy, I think is in the right direction, and we sincerely hope that the NPP government, should they come into power, would stick to that and commit to this process. But Bishop, one thing we would raise as a concern is the fact that for one to get to the tertiary education level, the person should have gone through the basic level successfully.
Exactly.
So we would want to mention that it's good that we have created room at the top, but we should streamline the pathways that will lead to the top.
Yeah.
Because if it is messy going up there, then it means that the provision will be made and we won't have a lot of persons with disability benefiting from this provision. So whilst we are going to execute this beautiful plan, we want to urge and request as H4P organization, as special advocates for persons with disability, that we should streamline the structure of education for the disability community. So that moving from the primary level to the junior secondary school level to the senior high level, before you arrive at the university, the structure should be strengthened. Like, people should be able to write the exam and pass. People should be able to be trained and schooled well. They understand the programs, they understand the courses, so that they won't fail and not be able to get to the tertiary level. Because we know that our people are intelligent, they are brilliant, but if the right structures are put in place, it will bring out the best in them, it will enhance their intelligence, and they can have equal opportunities presented them like the able people.
Definitely. So we are going to switch camp from the NPP and go to the NDC. I'll go for a break. When I come back, we are going to the NDC camp. It's a Helping Hand TV show, special election watch series. Stay tuned.
Success is a product of hard and wise work. Here's 60-second success with the bishop. Stay tuned.
Welcome to 60 Second Success with the Bishop, where I give you success nuggets for a successful life. To be successful, you must keep moving forward, no matter what. Don't let your past dictate your present. Neither allow your past to influence your future. If you would arrive safely on your success journey, you must learn not to live from your past. Your past victories are supposed to remain in your past, just as your past failures are supposed to remain in your past. Remember that it is so difficult moving forward whilst looking backwards. To be successful, you must strive to live from your passion and not from your past. No matter what your past looks like, whether good or bad, your future holds more prospects and greater things. Keep moving forward. And if for any reason you have to pause, be sure your feet is on the right place, and then stand firm, gather the needed momentum, and move on again. It has taken 60 seconds for me to give you this success tip, but it will take more than 60 seconds for you to put it to work in your life. So start your journey to success now.
Is the Helping Hand Election War series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
It's the Election Watch series on the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Thank you so much for staying tuned in to this special program. We are switching camp from the NPP to the NDC. I'm going to talk to Mr. Frederick Aso. He is a national coordinator of the NDC Disability Desk. And I start by asking him what the genesis of the Disability Desk of the NDC is all about. Mr. Frederick Aso, take a listen.
The Disability Desk of NDC, we started this way back in the 2008 thereabouts, trying to put ourselves together. But we've seen that we have different groups. The GSPD have theirs, the blind were trying to create theirs, the deaf were also creating theirs separately. So we tried to merge them to be one. And in 2017-2018, when the party was going for national election, we spoke to the candidates that are contesting for the chairmanship and other positions by asking them to create the disability desk when they come to power. Fortunately, Dr. Samuel Sampofu bought the idea that yes, he will do that as soon as he comes to be the chairman. And lo and behold, he added some of us to his campaign team, which worked for him tirelessly, and he won. So in 2018, 2019, we started putting documents together to make it work. And finally, on the 23rd June 2020, the Disability Desk was inaugurated as a department under the National Organizers Office, but not a wing, but a department. at first, the physically challenged, all these groups were trying to create it. So what we did was we selected members from the various groups to form the executives. If the coordinator is a blind, then there should be a physically challenged, there should be a deaf or albino to be his deputies. Aside that, we have a committee, and the committee comprises of six disability groups. We have the physically challenged, the blind, deaf, albino, and then intellectuals as the committee members.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Well, so Philip, after talking to him about his initial comments about how the disability desk of the NDC began, I also went ahead to ask him how the NDC disability desk is working in tandem with the disability community to achieve its goals. Let's take a listen.
It's not easy. Most of our incomes comes from the District Assembly Common Fund. So as soon as they identify your political lineage, it becomes a whole lot of problem for our people. So it wasn't easy for us forming our regional and constituency coordinators, because you might get a person, this person is an NDC person, but he will tell you, I'm afraid I'll be sabotaged, I will not be given the common fund and so on and so on. But the loyal ones are there. So as we speak now, the disability desks of NDC, we have our executives all over the 16 regions, and we are in 265 constituencies now. We are left with just a few to go. Although there is some intruders which comes and then we see them and then we take them off. But yes, people are understanding politics now, and they know, yes, everybody has his or her political party, and everybody is praying that my political party should come to power. That's why now we can see that yes, everybody is involved now in the not like those days. You wouldn't get people who are ready to do it. Although still people are still not ready to. But yeah.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
So, Philip, that is Mr. Frederick Asso, the National Coordinator of the NDC Disability Desk. We are going to continue, but let me find out from you, from H4P's perspective, how do we improve the situation of disability in Ghana from H4P's perspective? What do you think?
Bishop, I think we are doing well. There may be baby steps, but I think the outcome or the results are good. So we need to press more. I would say thank you to the H4P organization for the work we are doing, even through the Helping Hand television show, that every week, Saturdays at 6 p.m., you can have access to information on disability-related issues here on GTV, Saturdays at 6 p.m., on DSTV channel 278, on Facebook and on YouTube. You type the Helping Hand television show, and you can have access to previous telecast of the Helping Hand television show to learn so much on this. And we are grateful for that knowledge level that has been released and various projects that H4P has done to promote issues that are disability related in the country. Bishop, I would say that there should be more visibility on disability issues in the country. We're looking at a peculiar place like our health sector. Like, persons with hearing impairment should be able to easily access health facilities without struggle.
Definitely. I firmly believe that we can only improve the disability situation if we keep analyzing it, assessing it. We do our checks and balances. We find out where we are doing well and where we are falling short, so that we keep improving the disability situation. Well, I go ahead in my interview with Mr. Frederick Asso, the National Coordinator for NDC Disability Desk, and I asked him his assessment of the disability situation in Ghana so far.
Not quite well at all, because yes, I'm a politician, but sometimes the rarity has to be mentioned. And if you look at 2008, before Professor Mills became the president, our common fund was 2%. So by 2012, he increased it to 2.5%. Then when John Mahama also took over, he also increased it in 2015 to 3%. And that time, let's not forget, the common fund itself, the threshold is 7.5%. So it makes the money, the 3%, very huge. But from 2017, the common fund, the threshold from 7.5 has been reduced to 5%. So your money now, you hear it is 3%, but it's very small and little. And the common fund has also been politicized. There are some districts, you hear the MCs, the DCs have borrowed the money. Some will just go to the market, buy items for the people who even don't need those items. They buy fridges for people who are not even having electricity. You create a container for someone to sell. You give all the container to the person, no money to do anything with it. So it's making persons with disability, the country now is not favoring us at all. Not favoring us at all in terms of a lot of things.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Is the music segment on the Helping Hand TV show.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
My next question to Mr. Aso is the fact that in his mind, in his opinion, in his perspective, what he thought or what he thinks is the pressing needs of persons with disability. And this is what he had to say.
Employment. Employment is the most pressing needs because a lot of persons with disability have the skills, to work. Some have completed schools and they need job and they are not getting it. Some have finished their apprenticeship works and they need a startup to set themselves up, but they are not getting it. So employment cut across. That's why you could see a lot of people on the street these days begging. And then those who are also not having that skills who also want to be given the skills to learn a trade for themselves. And that carpentry, especially I'm talking in terms of the physically challenged. Yeah, a lot of them can do this carpentry, sewing, soap making, and the likes. The same as the albinos can also do same, the deaf can also do same. It's only the blind that you find it difficult. That's why you see a lot of blind people going to school, because we cannot do those professions, carpentry and the rest. We cannot do those things. So the best way is to go to school. And a lot of them also have completed school, no jobs.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
So, Philip, definitely the issues are a lot. The issues are a lot. I'm going to come to you, but first of all, I had to ask this very, very crucial question. I wanted to find out from him what Ghanaians should expect from the NDC government. If NDC is voted into power, what should Ghanaians, especially those of us in the disability community, what are we supposed to expect?
Yes, there's going to be a massive change in the disability issues. NDC comes to power 2025. In the manifesto of this 2024 manifesto, persons with disability, we are also part of the manifesto committee. So we spell out things that we think will be good for us if the government comes to power and do for us. One, these days we could hear Lawyer Susu, Honorable, has sent a private bill to Parliament of 5% employment for persons with disability in every government or public sector work. If our government comes to power and establish that, it's in the manifesto too, and it's established that, it means that even if a company have 100 staffs, at least 5 of them will be persons with disability. We're also looking at creating a disability fund instead of, aside the common fund, we are looking at creating a disability fund like the GET fund, because we have a lot of establishments in this country that needs to be worked on, because if those places are worked on, it will take off the pressure on government, like the rehabilitation center. If we establish the disability fund, we are going to modernize the place, build a big shop that there will be carpenters, there will be tailors, there will be soap makers or other different. You come there, you learn your trade, you finish, we set you up, there you go. We'll be building those things across the country. You know, our brothers and sisters, the albinos, their skin has a problem. So there's a particular pomade they use. It's very, very expensive. So what the government is saying that we are going to give those pomades to them free. You don't go in, buy it again, no. So it's also one of our policies. The free tertiary education. In our 2020 manifesto, it was there. We informed the government and then they look at it. It is still there. It's something that we are going to make sure it happens. So we are bringing the toll booth. And the toll booth is going to be manned by persons with disability. Not less than 60% of persons with disability are going back to the toll booth. And you understand, it's going to also bring employment to our people.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Well, thank you very much. This is the special election watch series on the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability and for persons with disability. Philip, this has been insightful. This has been exciting. And before we go, H4P, you are doing a campaign for peace. You are talking about peace. You are preaching peace during this 2024 elections. So just before we go, I'm going to allow both the NPP and the NDC reps to give us their peace message for these elections.
H4P Organization's campaign for peaceful elections 2024.
I want to tell Ghanaian youth especially that not even the position of the president is worth the finger of a human being, irrespective of the person's status. And the number of youth who get disappointed when their parties win, over 90% of the youth who supported the party to win. There's no guarantee that when NDC or NPP is in power, you will get what you want. So you need an environment where there is peace, there are good policies. People are able to talk about their manifestos and you can relate with their policies. So that when such a political party comes to power, you'll be able to do something better.
NDC, we want to rule the country. And if there is no peace, there is violence and so on and so forth, the country cannot be ruled. And then you can't even win the election. So we still need peace. And as the coordinator for NDC disability, I'm also calling for peace. There should be peace, the infighting, and so for losing 8 people in the 2020 election was very bad. Making people become more persons with disabilities is very bad. If you all remember, Ayawaso 2019 was very bad, and some of our people are suffering from that now. So I'm calling on the society, all political parties, that let's refrain from violence and work with peace. We should work with peace so that we persons with disability also be free, move freely to our polling centers to go and vote. But if there is violence, we can't do that.
H4P Organization's campaign for peaceful elections 2024.
Well, thank you so much. It's a special election watch series on the Helping Hand TV show. Thank you so much, Mr. Philip Tete, PR, H4P Organization, for spending your time with me on the Election Watch series. Well, Election Watch series continues next week, same time. Before I go, let me say special thanks to Dr. Joshua Makubu, former regional minister for Oti region and the national campaign coordinator for persons with disability for NPP 2024 elections, and also to Mr. Frederick Asso, the national coordinator for NDC Disability Desk. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you to all those who contribute to H4P through the mobile money system. God richly bless you for the good job you are doing. If you are not as yet part of those who contribute to H4P through the mobile money system, prayerfully think about it and lend a helping hand to the H4P so that we can continue doing this good job. Very, very, very special thanks to DV Unlimited, Company Limited, Fasty Chapel, FCC, my proud sponsors, for always helping me bring this amazing show to Ghanaians and the rest of the world. Well, this is where we draw the curtains. It's been the Election Watch series on the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability and for persons with disability. Remember that disability is not inability. Take care of yourselves, and God richly bless you.
You can also support H4P in bringing dignity to disability. Give today via our MTN mobile money on +233 596 313 338. The name is H4P. You can also send your donations via bank transfer. Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited, Rich Towers Branch, Accra, Ghana. Account name is H4P Helping Hand Project Fund. The account number is 20-900-308-70805. You can also visit our website H4POrganization.org for more information. Thank you and God richly bless you. H4P, bringing dignity to disability. H4P, perfection is our passion.